Good evening, everybody.
I think I just got my notification that you're live. Yep, there it is.
It's shushed.
Let me make sure I got my video silenced.
I'm good.
It's all quiet now. The kittens have been racing around everywhere. The bathtub babies, as somebody in the comments labeled them.
Oh,
Had a new video I posted of all three of them in the bathtub.
oh. I need to go and watch that one. Haven't seen it.
Yeah, they lay there all calm for a little while, and then all of a sudden they start playing.
Then they start going crazy.
Yeah. They carry all their toys into the bathtub. So I'll be sitting in here, and all of a sudden I just hear this scrambling around and thumping in the bathtub because they're playing.
Nice.
What's going on this week, guys? Anything?
Oh, I do need to go live. Not necessarily for a reading, but we'll see what happens. It may just be outside, sitting, chitting, and chatting. I've done 3 so far, and they've all been deleted because they all had copyright strikes. So,
oh man,
yeah, the last one did not. So, because I didn't go into the store, but if you go in the grocery store, apparently the Jason Mraz committee comes out and flags your video down
because of the music.
Mm-hmm. So anyhow, I'll go live at some point if I don't do a reading thing, because it's supposed to be nice this week too. If it's not completely soaking wet everywhere, then maybe we can do readings outside. So, but we'll see. I'll definitely try to go live. I don't know where though. Oh, tarot class is June the 2nd. If you want to sign up, just email me. Tell me, reserve your spots. Oh, you send you a confirmation. Got it. Write your name down. Give me the email address you want me to use when I send you the information, though. Like I said, it starts June 2nd. And shout out to Jody. I see you in the chat somewhere.
Love and hugs, Jody.
Hopefully you said you're doing better than yesterday, so good. I did a reading, and it says you got the last card you got, which was perfect. Because I held my breath. I was a little nervous, I will say. You got the star was your last card. And that's the card you want, because that's the card of healing. And so, great. Only thing is your word of warning is the 9 of Wands. So, it's a road to getting there. So, don't give up, no matter what.
Well, that's the bad back card, too.
No matter what, don't give up. So, you will get there.
Miss Becca, you got anything this week?
I'll try to go live this week. I'm not promising anything though, but I'll try. I'll try.
Whatever happened when we first started YouTube? I was live every day, it seemed like. What happened?
It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of like, I kind of get burned out when it's politics.
I think that's what it is, because it's still fun. It's not like it's a horror to do it. It's still fun to do, but
yeah. I just get burnt out, and then it's like I don't want to have my life revolving around having to watch the news, and you know what I mean. It's like I don't
staying up on it.
Yeah, to stay up on it for content. It's just kind of like I have a lot.
And you have to stay up on it to have the questions to ask.
Yeah, and it's just like I just don't. You have to know when to put up that line, and it's like I don't want to get so sucked into it, like, because I've seen people that are just, I wouldn't say crazy, but like anxiety through the roof, and it's like why it's like it's not going to change overnight. You are one person. You're not going to change it overnight, so why get the outrage? And it's very easy to fall into outrage, so it's kind of like just
I had a meeting earlier with my group of healing warriors from Sedona. We were on Skype together, and they were talking about that, like the energy, like it just feels kind of angst filled. And I said, you know what it is? It's like we got an indictment. We want a conviction.
and it's not just that; it's all the other crazy stuff that's going on too with
everybody
women's reproductive rights, all of it, and it's just like it's so easy to get bogged down and get stuck in that cycle of, oh my God, everything is awful. Everything is awful. Disconnect, and it's just like, for your own mental health, just disconnect. Those problems.
I could do it every day because the news, as horrible as it is, does not weigh on me like at all. Because I'm not traditionally empathic, so I don't feel all of the feels. It's like it's a story. And sometimes it's sad to look at it that way because that is somebody's real life. But at the same time, I can't take everybody's real life on mine. So to me, it's still just a story. I don't know. Sometimes it's the weight of the world to plug your camera in and just.
And that too.
Learn to do what we do every Sunday night in Petty Boots. Laugh at these hypocrites.
Laugh at it. I mean, and for everybody that emails us, I can't believe you guys are making fun of it, like keyboard warriors. Stop, because if you want to sit there and wallow in misery, go ahead, but don't drag me down with you.
Go ahead. You might make a friend. Go right ahead.
And it's and besides that, it's also all the emails that I get from people just sending me links to news, and they're outraged, and it's like, stop. Like, I can't help you. I'm not your congressperson.
Like, we're the same. What you can do, I can do.
Yeah, so just stop. I don't like the outrage.
Well, I got a few appointments left before I go to Sedona. So if anybody's wanting a personal reading before May 16th, get into my website pretty soon if you want to get an appointment. I'm almost booked up. Taking a week off that week, and I'll be back into things at the end of May. And of course, at the end of May, we got Johnny's birthday coming up.
Little Johnny. I got a lot of birthdays. I got my mom's, I have my husband's, I have Yoda's, Johnny's. It's like everybody's in May. My cousin.
It is on a Wednesday, so maybe I'll go outside somewhere.
And I'm back by then, so if you do a live that night, I'll be back if you want some company.
Okay.
I'm snacking on M&Ms. Just letting y'all know.
I've got a dark chocolate candy bar. I've got my spicy wasabi treat.
Woo, girl, that's brave.
Oh, I love it. It's not too hot.
It's not too much?
Just a little hot. Well, I have a question. We don't normally read on the royal family, but I was thinking about this because I was watching an astrology video and he happened to mention it. Steve Judd. We just had an eclipse. I think that was solar, right? We have a lunar eclipse coming up, and then the coronation is May 6th. It's like doing a coronation around the time of two solar eclipses, and Mercury went retrograde, and I think there's some other planets that are getting ready to go retrograde. How is King Charles III going to do? It just seems like, okay, don't you have royal astrologers or somebody to consult with? Why would you do a coronation right around two eclipses? That doesn't bode well. And y'all get these astrologers to do some videos on it because I think it's interesting. He's a Scorpio.
There is some communication issues of some sort, some confusions or something. It's like there's some things that are not clear. with the Ace of Swords is sort of flanked by lack and rough roads ahead type of thing. But I mean, it'll be fine. It ends in the Ten of Cups. All will be well in the end. Maybe a missed handshake or two, but I think he'll be all right.
What you getting, Becca?
He's going to be fine. Man meets something important about a child and lies about that child. So is that kid the prince?
Harry?
Is that the one that's married to the girl that they're always in the tabloids because all the racist people?
Yeah.
Is that his kid?
He is going to the coronation supposedly, but he's not going to stay for the banquets or the concert. He's not going to stay for the concert they have.
He's going to be hearing a lot of gossip and stuff about his kid. And he might have some statements to address that issue because it's man and bird. So he might be making statements that are significant in regards to his child and the trouble and the lies that are being spread. So, but about it. I mean, they're figureheads anyways, right? They don't really govern or do anything.
I got judgment on the bottom. I feel like, he's going to get down to work. There's something that their government, they've got their prime minister and their, what do you call it? Their
Parliament.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. There's something they're going to block him from. So I don't know what that is. Like, almost like taking a little bit of power away from the royal family is what I'm getting. But it's going to be okay. There will be a lot of talk, gossip, as Johnny said, around this coronation. Very erratic energy around that. A lot of anxiety around it too. But I get, he's got an opportunity to come out of it, illuminate a lot of things, like be more transparent. So if he'll do that, if he'll get more transparent, he can bring actually a lot of change. It's a little bit chaotic. It's like different from his mother's energy. So people will have to get used to him. He's going to be a little different type of ruler than Elizabeth was. Well, let's see where to start. Let's start with Fanny Willis. First, we have a Trump lawyer or a lawyer for the fake electors who never presented the opportunity for immunity to the 10 fake electors she was representing. And Fanny found out about it. So, they offered immunity, in other words, if they want to flip, right? It's kind of weird. She's trying to get the lawyer taken off the case because she's got some people that it looks like they want immunity and some that don't. And you can't represent both, right?
And people are throwing other people under the bus, saying that those other people committed more crimes than what they're being charged with, that they're privy to. And the lawyer, I think, is being paid by the Republican Party out of Georgia as well.
So my first question is, will she get that lawyer thrown off of the case because she didn't present, which was her legal thing she was supposed to do? Thank you, Margaret. When you're told you can offer immunity and you don't do it, you're not doing your job as a lawyer. That's illegal. Like, if I was any of those 10 fake electors, I'd be firing her anyway, but will she get kicked off the case? I forget her name, Dubois or something like that. Dubrow.
Well, there's the hired person here with the Knight of Pentacles, and it accompanies the Ten of Swords. This would be an ending to your assignment. But there's still some sort of strength that this person may have with someone. So maybe she represents one person, but not many, or something of that nature, because there's still an offer for her to do something with this case and the courts and all that type of stuff. But as far as the question goes, I believe yes. I get the Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. There may be some sort of backdoor or something she could do, but as far as this case, I get bye-bye.
Yeah. What you getting, Becca?
Is that lawyer a woman?
Yes.
She'll be separated. There's the woman, there's her desire, and then here it goes two separate ways. So I only pulled 3 cards, but from reading this, because there's two things that you can't be generous to both, is what I'm saying. So it's almost like a conflict of interest, but there's a separation here. They're gonna have to find an alternative for this person.
Yeah, I start out with a big yes because of the plea deal that wasn't offered. That just crashes and burns her as a defense attorney. So I get a big yes. There's an agreement to isolate her, take her off. It's going to start something new for that lawyer, though. It's like that was treachery. That was not following the rules of the bar association and everything. So it's going to start something new, strength on all her sneaky dealings and stuff. So she's going to get more attention because she's lied about this and she's a corrupt lawyer. So she may end up in court herself or losing her license or something.
And another one bites the dust. Is anybody,
another lawyer gets a lawyer?
I wish somebody would keep track. I'm sure someone is somewhere out there on the internet, but keeping track of all the lawyers that are about to their licenses because of all the shenanigans that they got involved in.
It's unbelievable. So will some of the fake electors flip in Georgia? There's 10 of them. Can you imagine if you were offered a plea deal and your lawyer didn't tell you about it?
Especially when you know you committed a crime and then that's the very thing you need, really.
Peggy says, my ass got arrested, MAGA. These people.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I got the nostalgia card on the bottom again. I had it in the first reading too.
Well, some of the flip, I think so. There are possibly 2 that are drawing a very hard line as to no, or they may need a taste of reality first, because sometimes when the law gets closer and closer and closer to you, then your mind starts to change. Someone's trying to stay the course. There's some guy here, and then somebody he's connected to there. So there's 2 people that are they're holding on to it. But there are possible 8 that are not, that are letting everything go. And yes, some of them will indeed flip, I think.
What you getting, Becca?
Yes, the government has significant knowledge or evidence. Here, tower, key, and book. Yeah, they got you. They got you.
I got you, babe. For entertainment purposes only. Turning their back quickly. That's flipping for me. She's successful at flipping them. Look at all the change coming. Change. They will be sharing information and backstabbing the others. Fanny's like, I rest my case. I rest my case. She is going to bully all 10 of them, pressure them. She's trying to get to someone who was in charge of the fake electors. So she's going to push them to try to see things from a different perspective. She's got the information already. She's just trying to get testimony.
I have a question, Jenny, and it might not require a reading. I'm just looking for an answer. Did these people know what they were doing, or were they suckered into doing the fake elector scheme?
I think most of them, as lawmakers, in Georgia, because they're members of the Georgia state legislature, most of them are lawyers and stuff. They've got to know that that's against the Georgia Constitution and the federal.
So the fake electors were aware. So it's not like Rudy Giuliani or John Eastman or somebody tricked me into doing this, yada yada.
Okay, we can say they are aware, just like the people who were military were aware, but they went to Jan 6 anyway.
Yeah.
What was the motivation then? Was your mind completely taken over, or were you
like if
you say I'm going to do this because I know I'm going to do it anyway?
Peter Navarro, a tape released this week from the lady that's given up the leaking tapes from Fox News, where he says they almost succeeded with the electors, but Sidney Powell was too crazy and most people couldn't swallow what she was pushing. But he was bragging about, like, we almost.
But somebody did.
I just don't understand how. I can see if somebody was really stupid, because in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe they're no different than poll workers. Not that poll workers are stupid, but you know what I mean? So far down that you don't know, or you could be easily manipulated if you haven't read the law in the books. So I was thinking, well, maybe
if somebody talks to you about doing it, first thing I'd be doing is going and looking at the law on it, in the Constitution before I said yes, sign me up.
Because why risk everything for
your
this?
whole life, man? Like, how many people have gone to jail already for this man? And
because they got the Michigan fake electors, they got the Wisconsin ones, like
they got the January
Georgia, the ones in Arizona. They're all over the country.
And he didn't pay any of your legal fees, none of you.
Nope. His fat orange ass is over there in Florida.
As Becca said, though, the GOP in Georgia was paying for the fake electors' legal lawyer who didn't offer them immunity.
Oh, wait, hold. I know that the GOP in Georgia is paying for the lawyers, but were the GOP of Georgia aware of that whole? Because then if they were aware and they were pushing it, they're in a slew of trouble themselves.
But they weren't even aware that they had the opportunity for immunity because their lawyer didn't tell them.
No, what I'm saying, Jenny, is I know that the Republican Party in Georgia is paying for the lawyers of the fake electors. The Republican Party in Georgia, were they aware of the fake elector scheme? Were they aware of it?
Because why pay their legal fees? They can just be randos on the street, let them pay for their own stuff.
Because if that's the case,
or did they get the 10 people they thought they could get to do it? Were they all aware?
Because if they were aware, and that's why they're paying the legal bills, then they're all in trouble too, because they're part of the conspiracy then. Right? Or
that tells me yes, right there. They it's premeditated, so it was planned out.
So was the GOP in Georgia aware of the fake electors?
I get it. Yes, I get it. Talked to and made an agreement. They were kind of pushed into it, but made an agreement to lie about the votes. Shifting them over to Trump, shifting them over. So they thought they were above the law. They thought they were secure. And look, that nostalgia card coming out again. What is up with that?
So it's not just the fake electors, it's the it's
The whole GOP.
The whole GOP. What did you get, Johnny?
And so it's different. It's other states too. So it's like this is not a Georgia thing. This is multiple things. It spans across type thing. So it's multiple. There's your schemes, 7 of Swords. There's your agreements, 2 of Cups. Your dishonor and dishonorable practices, 5 of Swords. And then word of warning is the Moon. Word of solace is the Ace of Swords. And so this will come out in time. Of course, we hate that word, but it will come out in time. But yes, this was a scheme, but it stretched across more than just one state.
I got a yes. There was a stroke of luck with a winning lottery ticket. So yeah, they were aware. So here, can I please ask a follow-up?
Yeah, I mean, it only makes sense that they're all aware. Cleta Mitchell, who was a Trump attorney, she's going around and speaking to GOP groups and everything, and she was in the phone call when he called Georgia. She was on that call with Trump.
So are those the GOP elected officials, not the fake electors, the GOP that were in on it that knew? Are they going to have legal consequences? Can we ask
anybody besides? Well, take out the federal ones because we know like Lindsey Graham and those guys also.
No, I'm just talking about the Georgia officials.
So the government officials in the state legislature, their work is corrupt. That will come out. Nostalgia, trying to return things to the way it used to be. They may be lawyering up. They'll get burdened. Some of them will go away or be separated from their seat, whether they're voted out or go on their own. But this was premeditated by the Republican Party and then moved into action. There's going to be a lot of backstabbing amongst the ones that had agreed to do this. So you watch them, it's cannibalism. They're going to take each other out.
What a mess.
So I think they'll probably get voted out. So it'll come to light who else was aware of it. I think they'll get voted out. Flip that state door.
But that's the thing, though. It's like, okay, vote them out, but you still broke the law.
You broke the law.
They
technically, because they weren't a fake elector, they didn't break the law. They
were okay to look the other way and plan it. So you're still part of the conspiracy, technically.
Yeah.
What did you get, Johnny?
I get a lot of threats and pressure, but no jail time or anything. There's the 8 of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Her ability to maybe do what we would like is kind of tied up. So I don't know if what it is that some lawyer could do to them. It may be something that's very, very difficult to do. The Moon is accompanied with the burden. So the 10 of Wands and the Moon. So this is it's very deep-seated. This is something that takes a lot of investigation, a lot of time, a lot of resources. You also have to get those resources from somewhere, and then you still have a Republican governor, So its burden is weighed down. It's constantly in defense. There will be some evidence, though. So somebody, again, is going to do something with the Magician and the Page of Cups, but it seems to be, and the Devil's here too, it seems to be more threats and pressure than it is anything else. Like, we're going to look into this, and then people get worried and angst. But
it's a campaign talking point, like, oh, well, they knew. Do you want a corrupt government? Vote me in instead. I'll clean this up.
I get that there's a man that's going to suffer quite a bit for fraud. I don't know if this is Trump or if it's somebody else in the state that's a man, but a man suffers for fraud, some sneaky stuff. So
Could be because King of Swords in the Word of Warning, so he's got some pressures on him. She's got the Devil, Seven of Wands, King of Swords.
So Cleta Mitchell that I was talking about, Trump lawyer that was sitting with him when he was on the call to Georgia, begging for votes. She just, a tape just came out of her very blatantly talking about, suppressing young voters, don't allow them to vote on campus because then they can just roll out of bed and go vote, which is illegal to suppress votes. Is she going to, first, will she get indicted by Fanny Willis because she was on that call? And second, will she face any disbarment or any legal action for basically trying to prevent people from voting? Fanny first. Will Fanny indict
I
him?
mean, it's so interesting, though. You have a young people problem, but you won't do anything about it other than just don't let them vote.
Don't let them vote. Suppress them because they know they vote Democrat.
Why don't you try to appeal to them? But that takes way too much change. So, I mean, I understand, but
Yeah, we got to try to hit up all the old farts like Grassley. We need every last old person to vote for our party.
the ones you didn't kill with the bug, anyway. I don't get an indictment. Well, maybe not for this specifically. There is a woman here. Is Cleta African American or is she white?
She's white.
Okay, well, there's a dark-skinned woman who is going to hand you some paper here with the Page of Pentacles, and you ain't going to like it with the Five of Cups. So there is some sort of mail, some sort of message coming in. It may have something to do with a bigger scheme of something than just the voting part. There's something else there because it's in collaboration with. So she's doing something with someone else, and there's where your paper comes from. As far as being indicted, I'm going to say yes, but maybe not for this. I think it's with the three people there. There's something else she's going to get called up for.
What you getting, Becca?
Well, she got indicted. She's going to have a huge punishment. Lies and betrayal, her career, and then there's the punishment, the guilt, pain, and suffering.
Thank you, John.
Will she be disbarred? There's a good chance that something's going to end for her here. There's an ending and trying to change something to win. So
I got another one from Maruch 53. Thank you. I missed it.
I think she I missed it too. Thank you. I guess she secures something from Justice Department. She's going to go away. There's all the backstabbing and corruption around Trump, and she was a supporter of his. I do think she's got an indictment coming for her from Fanny. But there's an abundance of chaos around her. Her world's getting ready to get rocked and shocked. And I asked, will she face disbarment? And I get change and completion with her work. She's done. She's toast. Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
I asked about the disbarment or any legal consequence. And from the last read, whatever that is that she does not like, that she is sad about, she becomes worried about in the future. So this is something that lingers on with the Wheel of Fortune, I think, and it impacts her work with the Eight of Pentacles. Will she suffer any legal consequence? Or again, yes, it ends in the sun. But it may be I think her thing blossoms. It continues to grow. This is not something that just goes away, because with the Wheel of Fortune, you have a whole cycle you have to go through too, because this is the Wheel of Life. So there's the ups and downs, and then something she doesn't like with the Four of Cups. So this gets worse, actually, for her.
Mm-hmm.
Televise it, because I want to watch it.
Was it worth it?
Popcorn out.
Just
and here's the thing: the only reason that they did it was because they thought they can get away with it, and they were totally fine with that. They were totally fine with usurping democracy for an orange buffoon.
maybe because we all, when he got elected, everybody said Russia, Russia, Russia. Maybe they got away with it the first time and thought, well, playbook, do it the same way, because everybody's eyes were on Russia instead of all these little states that he won the electoral college in but lost the popular vote. So maybe this happened the first time and we just overlooked it because everybody was, so focused on Russia, but it was the exact same playbook as last time. It just got exposed this time.
I can't imagine being that stupid. It's like you make a good salary. You're going to get that salary for the rest of your life. Why are you throwing yourself under the Trump bus to get run over and possibly get locked up for him? Why are you doing that? You probably live in a multi-million-dollar home, and thank you, Patty.
They should all go ask Mr. Weaselberg over there.
Yeah.
I just got out of Rikers Island. Was it worth it?
You crazy people.
And he was only there for what, 4 months? With the possibility of getting thrown back in too.
Speaking of crazy people, Texas Judge Kacsmaryk, who's the one who ruled on mifepristone, I can't pronounce it, but the abortion pill, for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. He reported the majority of his income was in a range of $5 million to $25 million in stock he has with a company. But he redacted the name of the company. So, as a judge, they're supposed to report their income. They are only allowed to redact a company if they have permission from the Justice Department to do it. And it usually involves if there's a danger to their family or something. So he's got 5 to 25 million. They're allowed to do it in a range, but that's a big range, 5 million to 25 million. Well, 2 or 3 years ago, he did report he had about 2 million in Publix stock, Publix, Publix,
the grocery store.
Which that lady who owns Publix is, a tarantula in the Republican Party. She's very MAGA. I want to know: is this his public stock, or is it? Did he have investments in some other pharmaceutical company that's competing against this drug or something? Like, who's his investment with?
That's that Trump math. Between 5 and 25. Those are not the same numbers, sir. No?
They're not even close. And how it would grow that fast?
Because that's what Trump said. Truth Social was worth, or something like that, between 5 and 25.
He has $2 million 1 year, and the next year he's got 5 to 25 million. Come on. He thinks your livelihood grew a little too fast.
Why work hard? Corruption's faster, I guess. I don't get it. What is this?
I asked, where does he have stocks? I only pulled 3 cards. I got the stork, the moon, and the bear. pregnancies, the womb, and mothers. I'm wondering if he's got stock in like IVF or those other sort of medications that help women that have difficulties with pregnancies, because this is pregnancy, the womb, the mother. So, but I only pulled 3. If I had gotten the scythe, I would have been able to.
You only needed 3.
You know,
because I was about to re-pull because I thought, maybe I influenced, because all I was thinking about was, maybe he has like a competitor thing, because this is pregnancy too.
Oh, really?
The Ace of Cups is birth, because this is the womb of Mary. So this is birth, and then there's the family. So if you got them together,
it has the Holy Ghost up above with the communion wafer.
So that's what this is. But this is something a bit schemy about this. The Page of Swords is a spy, so I don't know if he's got like competitor things, or I don't know. But there's something there that needs a perspective. And also, this is how you're born too. So there's, I was like, am I influencing this? So I was going to pull it.
The Johnny, and my apologies for asking because I'm ignorant. That Page of Swords, could that be injections or IVs or anything like that because it has a sword, or no?
For me, I use the Ace of Swords.
Okay.
But it's still a sword. Yes.
I get he changed who his investments were with, so I don't think it's Publix. And he's going to get a lot of attention for this. I get somebody made him a secret offer, so insider trading, there's this is going to backstab him probably. Like, we're going to return to this. He's going to get a lot of judgment on him.
Wouldn't it be poetic justice if after this whole scheme he gets busted for insider trading?
Yeah, he's working as a thief, so it's insider trading. He's corrupt. And he's been doing this for a while. So yeah, I don't think
I pulled again. I get the Empress this time.
That's the mother, right?
that's the mother.
Now, yes. At the same time, though, I get the Queen of Swords, and she is the one that's prone to troubled pregnancies or miscarriages or things like that. So, like you were saying, maybe it's, something for people who have trouble getting pregnant.
Fertility problems or something like that.
And
Yeah.
there's the Chariot trying to pull some sort of opposites together. So,
But that still makes actually it makes perfect sense, because why would you want people taking the morning after pill or whatever that pill is that he's trying to get off the market? That way you can have more pregnant people and people that are having trouble. Whatever, man.
Yeah, and go and make your money off of injections and stuff. This was a temporary stay on allowing it to stay on the market. So I want to know, will it permanently stay on the market? When a final decision comes down.
I get a yes. It starts with some sort of regrets, or the Five of Cups is more of a reminder card that you haven't lost everything, that there's still 2 cups remaining. So this fight may not be over, but there's still some sort of solace in the end. The Tower is upheaval, so whatever this energy is here is becoming sort of undone, if you will. There is a worry, though, about a coalition of people here. So they're still going to fight it, of course. But in the end, I get 10 of Pentacles, which I think this is where Big Pharma might come in. And I don't have my alchemy card, but this is big business. So money still rules the world. I don't care what politics you claim when you're in your individual pulpit. This still.
And maybe this will be a lesson to Big Pharma to stop funding crazy Republican people because they just almost messed with your profit.
And it's used for other things too.
Yeah.
Yep. I get big, huge profit. This is also the mother. Okay. There's the womb, the career, the feelings, the emotions, and then there's the woman. Yes. This is a mother type thing. But there's also huge finances behind it. Huge finances behind it. So
yeah, I do get that there'll be a lot of fighting over this. There's a lot of chaos around this, but all the greed that's behind this, and then the justices, the message will be strength for keeping it on the market.
And here's the thing that I had to laugh about that whole ruling, Jenny, because it was so Scalia's is that how you pronounce his name? Alito's
Alito, yeah.
And Clarence Thomas were the only two that dissented. And I saw Clarence Thomas's name and I just had to laugh because his excuse for not disclosing the sale of his house to a multi-billionaire was, I couldn't figure out the financial paperwork. You can't figure out financial paperwork, a form, but you can interpret the Constitution? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Yeah.
I get that there's a couple of judges that turn their back on the rest of the court. So I get that there's a couple that flip and vote with the more liberal ones. So I do get there's hope, and yes, it'll stay on the market. But I also get there's a change about something else ending too at the same time. So maybe Roe v. Wade will end up staying too. Oh, let's see. Hunter Biden. It's come out that he's got some IRS issues. Has nothing to do with this laptop or anything. He's got some IRS issues, and we know he's a recovered drug addict and maybe wasn't on top of things so well, but they're saying there might be a couple of felony charges for him for tax evasion. I want to know, will he get indicted on felonies? Thank you, Beatrice.
No. Should he? Maybe. Again, call it like you see it. Just because that's Biden's son and we're supposed to be pro-Biden doesn't mean that everybody is hands clean. So if you do something wrong, you do something wrong, no matter what side you're on. So I get the Six of Swords and the Page of Swords. I think he escapes this, but by some sort of hand behind the veil type thing. So he may have some favors pulled to where he gets away with whatever. There may also be a period of time where maybe they're trying to wait him out, but Biden more than likely is going to get reelected. So if they can't get him now, they can't get him later. So I think he will escape with this one here. But this is not about whether or not he had back taxes that he owes. This is all about political agenda. There's your devil there in your Three of Pentacles. This has nothing to do with taxes. I didn't get the tax card here. It had nothing to do with taxes. This is a political agenda, but at the same time, he does get some help to escape, though.
Yeah, I get he's secure. He didn't pay enough in, and they're not having it at the IRS. But I get there's like a payment plan that they come up with for him, basically. So he's out in the cold from an indictment. I get he rests easy, and they'll work out some sort of details. What's funny is I do get Trump gets an indictment for his personal taxes. I was going to ask that. Let me ask and see if that comes out again. Let me separate those cards out. Will Trump, Trump org is in trouble, but will Trump get indicted for his personal taxes?
Cried and whined. I thought we had a deal. Is the audit over? Can we look now?
Biden's already released his taxes. Trump hadn't released his from 2016.
I'll hide mine. That way you don't see how much I spent on tarot cards.
Hey, they're tax deductible when it's part of your business expense.
They are part of my work, though. I do.
I itemize those in my spiral bound notebooks. They're part of my business expenses.
I get the same things. Yes, and this is loaded with pentacle here. It starts with the 9 and the queen. This is money you owe the U.S. of A. This is my America card. And then the 9 of pentacles is your personal finance. This is also a very, very large sum of money. The 5 of pentacles and the star, there is going to be some future probes or looking into your losses, or at least your claimed losses, which I keep getting every single time I read on your taxes, because that's the thing that is getting you in trouble in New York. When you said, oh, my apartments and buildings are worth $90 jillion, and then they're worth like 85 cents. And so there is something there about losses. There's also a guy here. This is probably Eric, blonde dude, who is also in trouble with you somewhere within the business. So there is some personal finance here from the blonde guy, with a cup full of paste, more than likely. And there's also something here too about foreign donations, or I say donations. The Knight of Pentacles does not work on donations. He works on assignment. And so we know what he did for foreign people. So there is something there too.
It's interesting. There's Trump the Fool right on the bottom. I get yes, he'll get indicted for personal taxes, but I get he was sitting pretty financially when he was in the White House, and there's an investigation into looking at it differently, into why the government was complete and didn't do anything while he was in there. Well, if I was businessman Steve Mnuchin, who was over the IRS at the time, and their little scheme, their premeditated plan, I'd watch out, because I get there's a couple of indictments coming for around Trump's personal taxes, because somebody has done something in secret that they ought to be really anxious about. They're going to be fighting this in court. I think they they probably did try to say, oh, we've got a deal or whatever. Well, they just covered it up while he was in the White House. Now you got to make good on your taxes.
Remember, he started his presidency by getting with a $25 million fine for a fake university.
Yeah.
Everything in his life is fake.
Okay. Texas passed a bill requiring that the 10 Commandments be posted in all the school classrooms.
Are you kidding me right now?
So what the hell happened to separation of church and state? Well,
all my Jewish and Muslim peeps out there, all my Hindu peeps out there, all my Buddhist peeps, all my atheist peeps out there, raise hell. Raise hell, because no.
What does it have to do with school?
Will this hold up? or will this go to the Supreme Court?
No. But what? Never mind.
It's Texas, Johnny.
The
It's where
Ten
Ted
Commandments
Cruz lives.
is outdated itself. When Jesus Cristo was born, he said, I have one commandment, love each other like I love the church. The end. Let's forget about all other stuff.
They just don't do anything that their constituents want them to do. They're in their own little bubble.
And then, mind you, like the first few of them were like, don't have no other God but me. Don't look at no other God but me. Like narcissism God was the one writing the 10 Commandments. And if you need somebody to command you not to kill people, then we're doing it wrong down here.
I mean, if you're going to put that, then put the freaking 10 sins to live by according to Satan. You know, like
I mean,
Becca will write them up for you.
well, right now for you. I mean, oh, by the way, let me get my devil horns.
Yeah, you need your devil horns for this one.
like I can't. This
No. Raise hell, people, raise hell.
And if you're going to be a Christian state, then live by a Christian motto. And that's anyway.
All you little Republicans, just go find you an island where you can rule each other, because we're tired of your crap here in America, land of the free.
Just cut Florida off like an etch and sketch and just let it float. Go live there.
Just this is Texas.
That's shaped like a dildo. That tells you everything you need to know. Sorry, Jen. Sorry, Jenny, but it's the truth.
Damn you, Louisiana Purchase, right? So you could have done something.
Oh, Lori's in the chat. Hi, Lori.
Of course, she comes in on the
Lori.
vulgar part. Will it hold up? I don't think so. There's manipulation about retreat. It ends in the Six of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, so it's on the way out. It's not a thing that even logically or even spiritually would make sense to do. It's more of a statement, because Abbott is supposed to stand up for your religious freedom, and you see how good that worked for Pence, and it's not, because
Well, he can't stand up. He's in a wheelchair. Come on. Got him some slack. I'm sorry. That was
he's
petty.
rolling
That
up.
was really bad, petty.
I'm so down for pushing him down a hill and letting him play Mario Go-Kart.
I don't want to push him. Just
People in wheelchairs, only Mr. Abbott. And
put him up there and just pray for a strong breeze. That's all I'm saying.
I'm willing to push him down a hill. Watch
He's
him
a
play.
detriment. Well, you're the devil. Of course you want to.
I mean, it's probably legal to commit murder in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, according to the 10 Commandments, too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
An eye for an eye.
But it's not murder. It's just a really fast way to get to the bottom of a hill. That's all.
And I'll push him. I get that there's a multitude of men and women, so parents, since both of these are together, parents, that will litigate this. If this is the 10 Commandments, it gets litigated, it gets fought. And then with this and this, there's several people that are several suits that are going to fight this. So I don't know how that would go, if it would go to the Texas Supreme Court and what the Supreme Court over there is like, but it's like, this is a clear violation. If this is the law or what's written in the Constitution, it violates it here. So there's fighting and arguing.
I don't know what's in the Texas Constitution,
I
but
mean,
it's a
they all had
violation
to
of
know
federal
that,
law.
though. You would think. They all had to know that.
Yes,
That's not,
but they're trying to turn America into
everybody's not Christian. So,
Christo-fascist.
Yeah.
It's a talking point for them. They're just gaslighting everybody. I get it'll eventually get blocked in the courts, but for now we're stuck with it. There's a growing multitude of people that are going to fight this, as well as voting out the people who did this treachery. So things are going to get ready to change. I do get that there's hope here in the future. It'll get overturned, and then there's a bunch of them. They're going to be leaving in Texas. They're all going to get a bunch of them are going to get voted out. I tell you, that state's going to go blue
And
I
that,
had a teacher.
unless they rig the election.
He wrote Bible verses on his board every morning, and that was. I don't care, like, but at the same time, everybody's not Christian, so keep your personal faith in your personal life, is what I say.
and besides this whole thing of posting the 10 commandments in the schools, the lawsuits in Texas for women being denied abortion care that have to get 1 foot into the grave, those lawsuits are going through the roof in Texas right now from women that are suing the state because they have caused grave injuries to their bodies to where some of them don't even know if they'll ever be able to get pregnant again because of their atrocious legal abortion laws that they've put in because Christians,
Thank you, Carol. MyPillow Mike did a $5 million challenge. If you could take his data and prove that debunk it, that it was bogus, he would give you $5 million. Well, Robert Zeidman debunked it within hours. He said it didn't even take weeks and days. He said, I asked my wife, are you ready to make $5 million? So he had to take it to court. Well, now, of course, the judge said, you have to pay him. This is what the rules were of your challenge, of your competition, so to speak. And he did it. MyPillow Mike is like, of course, we have to look over everything, but will MyPillow Mike choke up his $5 million for Robert Zeidman?
Does he have it? I mean, he can be like the people do out here and go buy the bottles of water and dump it out and go change it in.
Working in retail, they do competitions, little contests all the time, and it's illegal as hell to run a contest and
not pay,
change things out and stuff like that. No, you have to be very transparent when you do contests.
MyPillow. I mean, these
people just don't go away. God, they live forever.
Why do the stupidest people have all the money? That's all I want.
And wasn't he just asking people for money because he's broke? So how
he got a loan from one of his things and sold a few buildings because he's spending all his money on the election fraud thing.
So you're begging people for money, but then you're putting out a bet and you just lost another $5 million.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Like Johnny said, why do all the stupid people get all the money?
This could be, some divine intervention too, but I don't think he's prescient enough to get it. But it could be somebody telling you, hey, sit down somewhere, child. Like, you losing this, you're losing that, you're losing this. If you look back,
shut your mouth.
Before all this started, how much money you had and how much clout you had and how much you could have went and sailed off into the sunset and never had to work another day in your life. Now you're going broke.
You had to get all quacking on crazy.
I just I don't understand. We only have to pay, I think, yes, it ends in a burden. And the 9 of Cups, somebody's going to be sitting pretty. There's a guy here that is going to be sitting pretty. His wishes and desires are granted. There's a woman here also bringing a whole bunch of change to you too. So maybe that's him and his wife. He here though, you sure he's not still on the stuff? Because there's the devil and the King of Cups. When I pulled the King of Cups, he is actually a really nice king. But all I felt was the anxiety and the sniffles and all. He's spiraling. I know we've seen the different. No, this is a different spiral. He on that stuff. He's Donut Shop Junior. So
yeah, he probably eats paste.
I guess there might need to be some sort of a civil decision, but yes. Because this would be civil society, the network, There's the danger in the decision, and then there's the stroke of luck and the win. So I don't know if the guy's going to have to take him to civil court and be like, yo, but I get a yes.
Yeah, I'm getting the same thing. It's like, here's the businessman, the MyPillow. He's going to leave him waiting and try to block him from getting it. He's going to lie about it and push this around, but he's going to end up surprisingly back in court over this, and the judge is going to temper him down. He's trapped in this. He has to pay it. I would bet that he is using again too, Johnny, because with temperance and the devil here, he might even try to take it to a higher court, but it's like, no, you got to pay, dude. You got to pay.
That's just ridiculous. Like, what's the point of putting out a bet when the results come in, the person debunks you if you're not willing to acknowledge? But then again, he's not willing to acknowledge to this day, 2 years later, the results of the election, despite the mountain of evidence.
And it's costing him his entire fortune.
Yeah, that's what I don't
Donald Trump can give two craps about you losing all your money.
Yeah. Is Donald Trump paying for your legal bills? Did he loan you $10 million when you were going? That man's going to be under a bridge fighting the bums over
wrestling pizza from a squirrel.
Cardboard MyPillow? Your cardboard box?
Johnny saying fighting a squirrel over a pizza.
That's what it is. I can see it already.
Here's the MyPillow box. It makes a little
I'm gonna build a house out of it. Oh,
he's going to be that guy in the Bosch deck with the table on his head and the knife in his hand.
Only if it's a cardboard table.
Oh, Lord.
Chief Justice Roberts is going to testify to the Senate on ethics, or was going to, but then said no. I want to know, will he get pushed into going to talk to the Senate on ethics reforms for the Supreme Court? He doesn't seem to be investigating Clarence Thomas. He's
yes, but show me. I get the star and the ace of swords with the man here. So, yes.
I get a yes too, but I'll believe it when I see it. So I'm just going to say that I'm misinterpreting my cards. I don't believe he will. There's growing partisanship, but there needs to be trust here. Well, good luck with that. You got hacks in the court and people doing extremely unethical stuff. So prove me wrong.
Nobody trusts your court anymore. I get a yes to he'll move into action, but he's laying low right now. He's off balance, off kilter, but working together on the justices.
I mean, what are we going to?
I get a no, and then he changes his mind because he's stuck. So he's not going to right away. He's very burdened by this. I do think there'll be some sort of something that grows out of this, whether it's some ethics for the Supreme Court, and that gets.
I mean, what's
put into action?
What's going to move him, though? More revelations on Thomas's corruption, a mountain of evidence that will soon, or at one point, is going to come out about I like beer, how all his debt just poof disappeared.
Well, there's going to be more on Thomas. I mean, he's involved with a neo-Nazi billionaire. And come on, there's going to be more crap that comes out on him.
So you got him. You got I like beer. nobody's even touched Alito yet, or the COVID Barrett lady, so.
I want to look at Alito because he was, I can't remember how he put it in his dissent, but it was a slam against the Biden administration, basically the way he put it. And it's like, you don't do that, when you're on the Supreme Court. It was very politicized, his comments. I want to look at Alito's future. How's he going to hold up on the Supreme Court? Is he going to leave anytime soon, or is he? Because I bet you anything he's tied in with a bunch of these Christo-fascists.
Is he secure? Yeah, I get his money. Something's about his money. Thank you, Flora, for posting the questions too. Something about his money. I get the 6 of Pentacles and the 8 of Cups. There's some sort of new horizon that his money could be coming from. There is a worry, though, with the High Priest, which is the Hierophant, that all of his attention on the House Negro Clarence is causing some problems for the rest of us. And there is some confusion here, or some multiple outlets when it comes to finance. He's got a bunch of money cards. I get nothing about him leaving his job, though.
Nothing but money. money. It's all about the money.
Mm-hmm.
He may end up pushed out, but it's because he gets burdened by something that he's trapped in with money. Money. He watches his money. He spends his money. He's party boy. He's a party boy. Something may come out about him partying with somebody wealthy. What are you getting, Becca?
A house sale where there was a gift of money, something shady around a child. I don't know if he's got kids. I don't know anything about Alito, but there's a home or property, business, sales transactions, gifts, a child, and then something sneaky shady. Do I see him leaving the court? No, but there might be something that comes up about some shady business deals with the purchase of a home or gifts that were given for, like, there was a transaction around a home, property, and family, and then a child or someone younger, and then doing some shady stuff.
So maybe he's friends with Trammel Crow that's up on the trafficking.
Could that be like something where he bought one of his kids a house, or a house in their name, or something weird
something
like that?
There's nothing sexual here because the whip is not there. The whip is not here. So this is not sex with minors or anything like that.
Okay.
And then the fish with the child, that's shopping and transactions around someone new or younger. And then property, and then gifts that are suspicious. So it might not be Alito. I don't know, unless they've done the same thing to Alito that they've done for Clarence Thomas. But we know of I Like Beer. All his mortgage got paid off. His membership at the country club got paid off. Everything got paid off. A family was paid. Here, there's transactions.
It's a gift.
A gift of money. Yeah, a gift. Oh, we couldn't figure out how to fill out the financial disclosure statements, but we're totally capable of interpreting the Constitution.
So let me ask it this way. Will any of the current Supreme Court justices be off the court before the elections in 2024? Why
is it always Republicans? All Republicans are not bad. Why is it always y'all though? I mean, you got some Dems, I'm sure. You know, the one who tried to sell the seat and all that type of stuff. But
anyone be gone. I don't care if they die or they're kicked off or whatever. Will anyone be gone from the Supreme Court before the 2024 election? Please don't be a liberal judge.
No. There may be, I see a suspicious ruling, first of all, because you have the Justice card here, the Ace of Swords, and then the Moon. So there's going to be some sort of weird ruling coming out there. Then I get Karma or Judgment card, and then the Devil. So some more investigations and manipulations repeat. So it's just going to get more gross. But I don't see anyone leaving, but some more info is coming out, though. Which whoop-de-doo.
Nope. They're still overseeing the public. No. Nope.
I get there's a lot of anxiety about somebody going, but there is like a ruling speech. There's a ruling that's very erratic that gets people talking. Like, was it bought and paid for by somebody? I get there's a whistleblower on this. So somebody, somebody's not happy about this. Like they know this was bought and paid for. Oh, I just knocked a card off.
Oh, we all knew that they were bought and paid for.
Yeah, sneaking around, bribes. There might be one that goes away, but I have temperance here, so it might be like right after the election that somebody is. And then I get there's like a lot of changes, because of judgment, there's a lot of changes in their legacy. So on the court, I think they're going to after the elections, they're gonna get some kind of ethics reform done. I mean, how many ways can they break it? Every judge before this crew had a scandal like this, and they were resigning. They weren't sticking around
because they're untouchable, and there's an entire culture of, well, we're untouchable. What are you going to do? The Senate's protecting them. The Congress is protecting them. Look at what Mitch McConnell's doing right now. Dianne Feinstein needs to go. And I say that, and she is my senator. You need to step down. You need to resign.
If you can't get back.
Because as of right now, Mitch McConnell, using his minority tyranny, is blocking Biden from appointing judges because he will not allow Schumer a replacement for Feinstein. So
just like he blocked all the Supreme Court
things
for Obama, he's doing the same thing now with Feinstein.
Remember, Merrick Garland was supposed to be on the Supreme Court, not
And the thing is, with the Senate being the way that it is, those people in the Supreme Court are like, yeah, so what? Are you going to impeach me? What are you going to do?
That's the whole thing. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So
especially when you set the precedent of nothing.
Exactly.
We'll make a statement on MSNBC, and then that's it.
Yep.
Okay.
So McCarthy is messing around with his debt ceiling proposal. He hasn't presented anything to vote on in the House, so he hasn't presented a bill. He's just got his talking points on a piece of paper or whatever, and Democrats are like, oh, hell no. There's Republicans that are turning against him that don't think he's going to be able to do this. So first I want to ask, will McCarthy be voted out as speaker before the debt ceiling gets voted on? And he's also protecting crybaby Marjorie after she got shut up on her committee for calling somebody a liar. Is he going to stick around, or is he going to get kicked out?
He's still there, but there again, I think I said this the last time. There's somebody that is, they're looking for someone new though. But the Five of Wands, there's a conflict, and here's a new person with the Ace of Cups. But he's still there. Six of Wands, Nine of Cups, person, center of attention, the celebrity, still gets what he wants. He still has his momentary power. The Star and the Empress, there is something new, though he will put out. I guess they're maybe forcing his hand on his own side, trying to force his hand with that conflict there. But only thing he's proposed is to cut food stamps. So
he's proposed cutting food stamps. He's proposed cutting veterans' benefits.
Yeah, support
the party of
our veterans, but cut their.
Yeah, the party that, we love our troops, and every chance they get, the veterans are the first people on the chopping block.
I don't get it.
Make it make sense.
I don't get how they get votes anymore after that. Like, it just
because the people that are voting for them are low information voters, Johnny.
This is true.
They keep them ignorant because they're easier to control.
Keep them poor, keep them sick, keep them stupid.
He's still there. There's cuts to finances, and then there's a very bullyish woman here. He's still there. But there's cuts, finances, resources. So cuts, this is also food, cuts to food, finances, resources, and then a very bully type of woman. So he's still there with this, whoever, I'm thinking MTG.
Yeah.
One that fits the bill, but yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, I get he's secure for now. He's like getting some attention, from bullying the White House. He's close to being on the way out. But I do feel like he's going to come up with some new scheme, try to change things and take what he can get. So let's ask, will he raise the debt ceiling in time without sending our economy spiraling? Was it July or something they have to do it by, or June?
It ends in conflict this time, so I'm not sure. It's because you have the Eight of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. There's still talks about cuts and conservatism and all that type of stuff, to where keep, take, guard, that type of thing. There's also a woman here who loses a lot of power, whoever that is, blonde lady. But she's like regretting her initial investment. So maybe this is now an MTG versus McCarthy type thing, to where she's regretting some sort of investment that she made with the Five of Cups. There's some sort of new manipulation around large sums of money, and that's what causes the conflict. So whatever those cuts are, the other side wants to spend. So this could be anything from social programs to infrastructure, or anything where the other side wants to spend and then the other side wants to keep. So right now it still ends in battle with the Five of Wands. Diversity doesn't win. So I don't know as of right now. Doesn't look like a yes, though.
My sense is that they're going to wait right until the last minute and pass it, because they know better than to do what they're going to do, because all their super rich donors are going to be on the phone chewing their behinds.
Well, they know it won't go well for them in the elections if they don't.
They're lying about shortages and taking something away from health. So I don't know if that's Medicare, Medicaid, something, but it's health related.
Or health care for veterans.
Healthcare, something. There's something around health. Lying, shortages and taking away, and then health. So, but if I read it across, also there's going to be problems about shortages, a lot of lies about stuff not having enough, making something smaller, taking away. But then this is solid and grows. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, like, I think they're gonna take it up right to the line, and then when the clock's about to strike midnight, they'll rush it through. Something like that.
I'm getting the same thing because it's going to be delay, making changes and everything, making everybody nervous, trying to manipulate, and then they start catching a lot of flack for what they're doing, and there's definitely some cuts that come through to. I get cuts to burden children, so maybe it's education or something too. There's something that they're doing with soldiers that is not thought upon well. So I don't know if that's healthcare maybe for the soldiers, but something else gets reduced. But it's a smaller bill. It wouldn't surprise me if it's for a shorter time or something. Like it's not for the whole year or something.
My read ended with tree, which is number 5. So I'm wondering if it'll only carry them through May of next year, which is an election year, because that's card number 5. It's 7, 23, and 5. So I'm wondering if they just push it right up to the line and only fund till next year, through May.
There's something about it, like it's not the full time that they're supposed to do it for.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how much time we got left.
I loved it that Kevin McCarthy got called out on live TV that one day when he was doing that interview, and he was talking about the debt ceiling, and the lady pushed back and she's like, no, you raised the debt ceiling, put us $3 trillion in debt. You had no problem. No problem. He could not wiggle out of it. He couldn't. And I'm glad somebody actually held him to account,
Yeah. So Alvin Bragg in New York waived his appeal and is letting Pomerantz testify to Jim Jordan's committee on May 12th. And he did it because he won what he wanted, which is to have a lawyer present that can shut it down if they start asking things they shouldn't be asking about. How is Pomerantz testifying to Jim Jordan committee? And unfortunately, it's going to be behind closed doors. How's that going to go for Jim Jordan? Is he going to get his head handed to him on a platter? I would so like to see that meeting.
Were there 3 people who left Bragg's office and 2 of them were women? Does anybody know out in the chat?
I know there were at least 2.
And there's 2 women that I'm aware of.
And then Pomerantz is a man.
Okay, because I get all 3 of them here. There's a lot of, I guess, information that he could want, but it's not. This is not going to go in his favor necessarily. Whatever agenda he has, this is not what's going to happen. But there is some enlightenment that's here. There's some evidence that these 3 people have that could benefit someone, maybe not him, because he's looking for a different thing. I think he's putting on a show. That's all he's doing. But these 3 people have like actual evidence, because mind you, they quit because they wanted that case to be brought against Trump, and it was not. So they got something going here, these 3 individuals. And As far as Goofy Boy was Jim Jordan, as far as he's concerned, no, he gets nothing he wants. Whatever song and dance pony show he's got going, that's not going to work.
And Jenny, you just said it's going to be a private hearing. So
but you know, Jim Jordan and the Republicans will go on Fox and spin it their way, and the Democrats will go elsewhere and spit, and tell you what really happened.
Behind closed doors is going to be ass and elbows. Oh crap! I stepped in it. Because here is someone that is suspicious, untrustworthy, and a liar. Suspicious, untrustworthy, liar, and then for Pomerantz and others, they have this in the bag. It's in the bag for them. Now, with Dog and Son, if Jordan was looking for this to be some sort of a gift to Trump, oh, this is what I was able to get out of committee, yada, 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 yada. You got these three. He's boxed in.
He doesn't get what he wants.
Well, if he was going to be the delivery boy for Trump to pull those people in, get intel, and then turn around and tell Trump, this is what they have, this is what they're looking at, yada, 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 like an insider. He's boxed in. Investigations into him, and then he's in trouble and he's going to have to lie. Do you see what I'm saying? If that was his angle, him strategizing to produce some sort of a reward for the mango, he's going to see himself in trouble if that's the route he takes. But for the hearing itself, it's not good for him.
Jim Jordan should go buy Pomerantz's book and have it autographed while Pomerantz is there and give it to Trump, who would never read it anyway, because we all know he doesn't know how to read. Jim Jordan is going to look very thin on this one. He does not get in secret what he wants. He does not get it. This is all for image and show. We know that. And he's going to lose out. These guys have all their tax stuff and everything. They've got it all together on Trump. It's a done deal. They've done all the details on the work, and Jim Jordan, he'll probably lie about it, but the Justice Department knows all the corruption, especially on properties and things too. I feel like Jim's just going to try to gaslight about it. But
can I ask
what he wants?
At the end of all of this, assuming this is an assumption question, assuming this does not turn out the way Jim Jordan wants, what will he regret the most and why?
What will Jim Jordan regret the most?
Yes, and why? Does he get some sort of legal blowback and that's why, or does he just fall on his face and that's why? Like, what does he regret the most out of all this? That he's trying to save Donald Trump again, another person laying their head on the pike for him. Why? Like, what does he, after all this is done, what does he regret the most and why? Assuming he has regrets at the end.
Obstructing for Trump. The agreement that he made to block and obstruct for the celebrity that he's been doing for a long time, and that's all going to crash and burn through the courts. That's where he's going to reap what he sowed. There's details about the lie that are going to come out that are going to put him in defense mode, and he's going to wish he walked away from Trump. But y'all get it.
You still can. Like, it's anyway, back to what you do.
So here is the happy, joyful, narcissistic man. Here's his regret with the cross. What is he going to regret? The betrayal, how the party betrayed this person here. That is of this person has a name and a lineage, if that makes sense. Almost like royalty within the Conservative Party. He's also going to regret partnering with white nationalists here, because these are very dogmatic, pure people. Lies and betrayals here. So on two fronts, partnering with offering or giving gifts to placating to white supremacists, and the betrayal of a person in the party that had some sort of royal lineage, if that makes sense. So
on that note, Ellie Alexander.
Wait, did Johnny go?
Oh no.
What did you get?
Sorry.
It's it's all image. That's he regrets. I don't understand. Anyway, I don't understand. How do you get this far and still believe in this? This has got to serve you some. Anyway, there is support for the King of Swords, Donald Trump. There's the sun. There's the star. There's the Nine of Cups. There's the Ten of Cups. All the good vibes and the happy feelings. And then there's the manipulation of image. So he fell for it. But I don't understand how you don't see that now. Anyway, that's what he fell for it. They fell for the okie doke, and then he went down with the rest of them. So anyway.
Okay. Ellie Alexander, now who organized the Stop the Steal rally on January 6th, likes underage pictures of
boys.
So what do the peanut butter boys and oath creepers think about that?
I mean, isn't that some tea, Jenny? The party that's always pointing the finger at somewhere else. You guys are pedophiles and you're grooming children. Meanwhile, the celebrities of that movement are the ones send me DICK pics to a 15-year-old boy. You can't make this up. You cannot make it up.
You got all these.
Mind you, didn't he apologize for it?
No.
Because he said something, but he didn't deny. There was no denial in his statement.
Well, he was telling them that he would get them a role like in government or something, like as an aide or whatever. So he was bribing them to do it.
They'll be safe there.
And there was somebody else that knew he was doing it that was trying to help him get positions when they came of age or whatever.
And these are the most anti-LGBTQ movement pushers when they themselves are gay. Make that make sense.
You're talking with the head of peanut butter boys and oath creepers and everything to arrange for them to be there January 6th. And what do they think about their little organizer in general? All you men who think you're demasculated.
And it's funny too, that other guy, that Milo Papa, whatever his last name is, Papalopoulos, whatever. He's openly gay too, while spewing anti-LGBTQ stuff, who is buddies with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who also spews anti-gay stuff. So you don't get to pick and choose. You don't get to cherry pick.
Yeah.
Who you're gonna hate.
I have no problem with gays, but when you're going underage, come on.
It's the hypocrisy. It's the hypocrisy.
Talk about grooming.
Yes.
Grooming, literally grooming.
I get that.
But see, there is a concerted effort to also not group the two in the same conversation, because you can be gay, be a man that likes men or a woman who likes women, but when you talk pedophile, that's a completely different thing than your sexual orientation. So it's like, yes, I understand that's a man who likes males or boys, but that's a different thing than a person being gay. That's a whole different thing.
But they tried to lump it all in together.
Yes, and
Yeah,
yes,
let's push having the 10 Commandments in church, because God knows the church is not where pedophilia happens.
Not at all. I don't know where you got that idea, Jenny. I don't know where you got that idea. Mm-mm.
What do they think? Well, here's the thing. Some of them are still on his side because it's an attack. That type of thing. Somebody's attacking you because you get the defense card in the moon. That it's a personal attack. I know that's not the person I know. You know, those whole things, like the Bill Cosby. That's not the Bill Cosby I knew. Blah, blah, blah. That type of thing. But then there are others who see your ways with the Lover's card and the Knight of Cups and the 10 of Swords. And I don't think they ever liked you from the beginning. They were just all going in the same direction. How does the thing go? Every crowd is not a group. And so I don't think they cared for him ever. I just think they were all going in the same direction.
I think they knew, like, that he was doing that anyway. I get that they thought he was sitting pretty with young people anyway, so they knew all along. They're like not surprised. They knew he was doing meet and greets, so to speak. I get, in general, they're out to do the work of the Republicans, so it doesn't matter what they think of him.
I get that they're going to be very, very comfortable and having a very good laugh when Ali Alexander gets in a crap ton of trouble with the law for lying about something, because there's the law, there's lies. So legal trouble that's coming his way. Either people in that little entourage have betrayed him and flipped on him, but they're going to be sitting back and having a good little cackle about the legal problems that are on the way for Ali Alexander. So whether it's January 6th related, or you were soliciting pictures from minors.
How did this come out?
Is he going to have legal problems from that? Like, as these young men come of age, will they?
This says yes. There's legal problems coming. So I'm going to sit this one out. You guys can read it.
How did this come out?
It was on Twitter. I sent it to you, Jenny. How was it reported? It was on Twitter. One of the three turned against each other. There's that guy, the one that, what was his name? We were making fun of him when you were here, Johnny, that I said he would throw up in his own hand if he touched himself, or his own hand would throw up if he touched himself. Nick. Sorry.
Throw up in his own.
His own hand would throw up if he touched.
That describes.
I don't believe I heard that before.
You were sitting right next to me when we were reading on it. His initials are N and M. He has a podcast or something where he's a white
Nick Fuentes or somebody.
Nick Fuentes, thank you. Okay. Nick Fuentes and another guy started talking crap about Ali Alexander and let all that stuff fly. So it's like they're all eating each other right now. It's great. It's the best.
That means they know your secrets and your okay. So legal consequences.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. And that other guy, Milo, whatever his name is, that Marjorie Taylor Greene has on her team, like they're all turning against each other.
I encourage this behavior. Keep doing it. Go right ahead.
It is entertaining as heck.
Ooh. It ends in the justice. So yes, short answer. Long answer. There are more. The Lover's card and the Seven of Pentacles. This has crossed into the physical realm. This is not just digital in pictures and things like that. I don't see forced anything. I think he had a relationship with younger people. He may have been one of those people who, the Dateline people catch and all the How to Catch a Predator and all that, because he buying them PlayStations and tennis shoes and all these type of things, because he had relationships. King of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. There's another guy, possibly too, that was in this with him, or they have some sort of ring of this type of stuff going on. The Fool here, that's a young person for me because it popped up in the last read. This person may have spilled some information with the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups about stuff that they got. So gifts and things of that nature. And then so they told their friends, hey, I got a new, mind you, side note, discretion viewers. I knew a person, 17, all of 17 years old, and the guy in the church, he was one of the deacons or something like that. Me and him were out at some music store. I didn't know what we were doing there. Then that guy walks in. He didn't know I was there either. And he asked who I was. And then the guy, the 17-year-old, said, oh, this is such and such, my friend, because we went to the same school. And we were 17, all of 17 years old. He was in there buying that boy a guitar. And later on during that conversation, he told me why he was buying him a guitar. And so it's this kind of thing. This little child here is spilling all to his friends, all the stuff that he has. And yes, there is something with the justice here because secrets are going to come out.
You would think the FBI would be all over this because he was literally soliciting sexual stuff from minors.
That's what this say.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The devil on the bottom. He's going to get a lot of attention from abundance of people of stuff he was doing in secret. There may have been some traveling involved too, so there might be a little trafficking kind of thing that's really going to make him anxious. So yeah, the lovers with the older guy, with a bunch of people. Someone's going to be talking, someone of school age, and how he was pressured or bullied into like coming to his home, something along that line. So there's someone who's very naive that is now changing and getting a different perspective on the grooming that was going on, and then the judgment hits him. So yeah, he's about to get in big trouble.
And what's going to be fun about it is they all know each other's secrets. It's going to turn into a circular firing squad. And oh, by the way, you all know Marjorie Taylor Greene too. We would greatly appreciate, we would not mind some of her dirty stuff getting thrown out there too.
Well, Pompeo has a new book out called Don't Give an Inch, which would have been great advice to Trump over Stormy Daniels, but
yeah,
for 90 seconds.
Maybe he doesn't have an inch to give.
That's all you got. What you gonna do?
Don't give an inch.
1 centimeter. 1 centimeter right there. Right there.
Not actual size. Is this book going to help or hurt him politically?
Lord have mercy.
Don't Give an Inch. What a great title.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Mike Pompeo. He looks like somebody that hadn't seen it in a while either.
I mean, he should say that to his waistline, I guess.
He has slimmed down. He might be seeing it now.
Oh, good. That's good for you. That bacon in the
Yeah,
morning.
when you have an inch to give. That'd be a better title.
Oh, Lord. That's sad. What was the question again? I'm so sorry.
Mike Pompeo's new book, will it help or hurt him politically? Give an inch.
There's some man that's going to attack him for it. Someone who's being highly emotional and erratic too. But there's a reason behind this book, and it's not just to make money, though. I want to say there's a threat too. With the King of Pentacles, this is not in the cards. This is in my headpiece. There is a threat that he sends out to someone saying that I can put it all in writing, but maybe I won't. But maybe I will. And so I think there's some sort of agenda with the moon card here is treachery. Something lies underneath. The people under the stairs type thing. So, but he'll be fine politically.
Will it help him politically? The book came out all by itself. It's right in the middle. Outside of his current social circles of rich and powerful people, no. It might get the ear of some big financiers or networks with societies that have a bunch of resources. So I don't know if this would be Federalist Society or whatever, but outside of that social circle, no.
I get kind of the same thing. It's like he gets the donors, it's just chaos around him trying to move forward. He's never going to get the votes and waiting on that. But he does get support from people that want to donate to him. I get he'll go around like speaking at schools and stuff like that. I don't, he'll become a little bit of a celebrity because of who he partnered with. So he'll probably be the next one grooming.
We don't like you, Mike Pompeo. We remember what a schmuck you are, so good luck with that.
Okay, we're going to try something a little bit different because I like this question. What does the spirit of Walt Disney think about Ron DeSantis? The spirit of Walt Disney calling in. Think about DeSantis.
There is naivety, angst, and vindictiveness that this can all be settled with a conversation. If you have, mind you, Spirit always wants you to make amends, and so that's where he's coming from too. There is this conversation that can be had if both sides are willing to sit down and actually have an adult conversation instead of a political conversation. But this can all be settled that way, and that is the extent of what I got.
I get that he's not too concerned because he's in a more peaceful place where he has transitioned, but I'm going to be petty. Okay. Because he doesn't really care. He's peacefully transitioned somewhere else where he's kind of high above everything. But I'm going to be petty. He thinks he's a white supremacist that's on a journey to get what he desires because he's very passionate about grabbing onto an abundance he's very passionate about having an abundant, not aspirations, not ego. What's the word I'm looking for? It kind of sounds like aspirations. What's the word I'm looking for, you guys?
So he's social climbing?
Not social climbing. The word starts with an A, but it's leaving my brain right now. Ambitions. Someone that's a white supremacist who's turning everything bad because of his abundance, his passionate abundance of ambition. Like he's too ambitious. That's not what this says. I'm just twisting it.
But it's true because that's pretty much what most people in that position want is power. So why be just the governor when you can rule the whole world type thing?
Yeah.
Well, this could be wanting to hit him over the head like with the Flintstone mallet, right? But I feel like he's looking at it as it's an opportunity for DeSantis to learn and grow. He thinks he needs to change the way he works because he's giving birth to a lot of heartbreak, and especially for young people that will probably, grow up to go on the attack of all of DeSantis' ideas in creative endeavors. He's like, the bullies are going to exit. They're not going to last, and he knows his Disney World is kind of protected right now. They'll find something else to move on to later legally. So,
I mean, he's given Disney the perfect argument of First Amendment right violations when he's specifically targeting Disney. He's not targeting Universal Studios. He's not targeting anybody else. Just Disney. So,
okay, last question. I also like this one. If Lucy was a human, what occupation would she be in?
I'll keep it because I heard one thing, so I'll keep this too. So who knows?
Little Princess Fluffy Butt Lucy was a
Yeah,
Maybe
there it
got
is.
back, she'd probably be twerking with Nicki Minaj.
I get that she would be a nurse because I heard that, and then this is my nurse card. Some sort of nurse, but it has to deal with troubled pregnancy. So it would be someone who is in trauma or some sort of support in trauma. So like an ER person too. So she could be some sort of nurse within emergencies and things like that. Very secure, though, very loving person. Long as it's not necessarily children. Mind you, Lucy, she would get along with adults. She just doesn't really care for young energy all that much. So, which I can sympathize. So,
What'd you get, Becca?
the moon, the sun, and the house. So I would say she would be some sort of celebrity that's very well known and recognized within households. So I don't know, because this has to do with celebrity and fame and this. So maybe like commercials for kitty food or something.
and that's the house. Maybe she'd be one of the Real Housewives of something.
Yeah, there's a lot of fame, and she's got, not a huge audience. This is more like a loyal base, if that makes sense, So.
I'm going to stick to my original thing because I'm getting she'll have fame too. Like if she does what she loves, she could be like Nicki Minaj doing something very different and creating fortune, using her voice, whether it's speaking or singing or something, using her voice, also very image aware and a celebrity that grows and not giving a lot of attention to men. So she might be gay.
That's my girl, Lucy. That's my girl, Fluffy Butt.
Baby got back, so she'd be twerking.
Little Fluffy Butt Lucy. She's so cute.
Well, thank you guys for all the super chats tonight and for joining us on our Petty Boots ride again. We'll be on Becca's channel, House of Lenormand, next Sunday.
Hold on. Sister, Seven Angels, you can take that somewhere else. Somebody block her. She needs to go. Okay, bye-bye. Sorry, Jenny. Go ahead.
It was just going in to make sure she gets blocked.
Yeah, I
From
can't.
my channel permanently. Bye-bye. She apparently is a subscriber because she wouldn't be able to chat if she wasn't. So hope you enjoyed it while you could.
Thank you, Lucky. Thank you. I'm on StreamYard, so I can't block and stuff. But thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, if you'd like to book a reading with Becca, houseoflenormandreadings.com or at houseoflenormandreadings@gmail.com, Johnny at tarot'sapprentice.com or tarot'sapprentice. Yeah. At Tarot's Apprentice. No, Tarot's Apprentice at what.com?
At Gmail.
At gmail.com.
At Gmail, yes.
And there were a couple of emails that I replied to today for people that were asking about readings. So if that was one of you guys, please check your emails. I responded to those this afternoon. So that's all I got.
And we will see you guys next week. Be thinking about your Mother's Day. It's coming up. You better get her a present. Good night, everybody.
Bye.